The Galactic Council chamber had never witnessed such silence. 12 species, each representing billions of souls across thousands of worlds, sat frozen as they watched the lone human figure standing before them. Admiral Sarah Chen, the last representative of a species that had been written off as extinct just 72 hours ago, held their collective gaze without flinching. The Zephyrians, with their crystalline bodies that sang in harmonious frequencies, had stopped their eternal humming. The massive Gorlax, whose very breath could shatter stone, held it in anticipation. Even the ethereal veil-touched beings of pure energy who rarely acknowledged physical reality had materialized fully to witness this moment. "You stand accused," rumbled Overlord Kethvar of the hegemony, his 4 eyes blazing with barely contained fury, "of the complete annihilation of our combined fleet. 700,000 vessels, 60 billion souls." His voice cracked like thunder across the chamber. The most devastating military defeat in galactic history. Sarah Chen didn't blink. Her uniform, still bearing the scorch marks from her escape pod's violent entry through 3 different atmospheres, seemed impossibly pristine against the backdrop of alien grandeur surrounding her. She was small by most galactic standards, barely reaching the knee height of the towering Gorlax, yet somehow she commanded the entire space. "I stand accused of defending my home," she replied, her voice carrying clearly despite its quiet tone. Nothing more, nothing less. The accusation was staggering in its impossibility. One human ship, the last vessel of a species, that had been systematically hunted to the brink of extinction by the hegemonies. Final Solution Protocol had somehow destroyed the most powerful armada ever assembled. The mathematics alone defied comprehension. Counselor Zithara of the Contemplative Order leaned forward, her 6 arms weaving complex patterns of inquiry. "Admiral Chen, our sensor data shows your vessel, the UES Defiance, was a standard human cruiser. No exotic weapons, no reality-bending technology. Even our preliminary scans confirmed it was running on archaic fusion drives and projectile weaponry." Her voice carried genuine bewilderment. "How do you explain the complete destruction of our forces?" Sarah's laugh was sharp, bitter, and carried undertones that made several species shift uncomfortably in their seats. "You want to know how? You really want to understand what you walked into when you decided to finish off the last of humanity?" She stepped forward, and despite her diminutive stature, several counselors instinctively recoiled. "You studied us for decades before your final solution. You cataloged our weaknesses, our divisions, our tendency toward self-destruction. You saw a species that fought itself more than any external threat. What you failed to understand was that we've spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing each other. And everything we learned well." The holographic display at the center of the chamber flickered to life, showing the final moments of the great battle. The hegemony fleet stretching across light minutes of space, converging on a single point where Earth's last moon base had been broadcasting its defiant signal. The Defiance wasn't just carrying me, counselors. It was carrying every innovation born from 10 millennia of human warfare, every lesson learned from brother killing brother, every advancement forged in the crucible of our own brutality. Technologies we never shared with the galaxy because we were ashamed of how we developed them. The display zoomed in on the human vessel, laughably small against the backdrop of the massive alien armada. What the sensors had missed, Sarah now revealed, were the modifications hidden within its hull. Nano-assemblers designed to convert any matter into explosive ordnance, a byproduct of our resource wars. Quantum entanglement bombs that our physicists developed during the corporate conflicts. Memetic warfare algorithms that could override any AI system, perfected during our information wars. And finally, she paused, her eyes growing distant, the Domino Protocol. Several counselors leaned forward despite themselves. The name meant nothing to them, but the way Sarah spoke it carried the weight of apocalypse. During our nuclear age, one human philosopher posed a question. What if you could design a weapon that could destroy not just a planet, but convince that planet's destruction to spread to every connected system? Sarah's smile was devoid of warmth. We spent 3 centuries making sure that question remained theoretical, until your final solution forced our hand. The hologram showed what their sensors had recorded as impossible. The Defiance hadn't fired conventional weapons at all. Instead, it had released something into the quantum substrate of space-time itself. A cascading failure that had spread from ship to ship, system to system, turning each vessel's own power core into a reality-rending explosive. You see, counselors, humanity's greatest strength was never our technology or our unity. It was our absolute, uncompromising refusal to go quietly into extinction. Every species in this galaxy evolved to live. Humans evolved to spite death itself. Overlord Kethvar's massive form was trembling with rage. You turned our fleet into a weapon against itself. 60 billion beings died because of your perverse ingenuity. 60 billion beings died because you decided an entire species had no right to exist, Sarah shot back, her composure finally cracking to reveal the furnace of grief and fury beneath. Did you think we would simply line up for extinction? Did you believe that the species that fought its way out of cave paintings and atomic fire would simply accept annihilation? The silence stretched long enough for several star systems to complete rotations. Finally, the Contemplative Order's eldest member, Ancient Veltar, spoke in a voice like wind through dying leaves. What do you want from us, last daughter of humanity? Sarah Chen straightened, and in that moment she seemed to grow beyond her physical boundaries. I want you to remember, when you write the histories of this day, when you teach your children about the extinction of humanity, remember this. We were not victims. We were not conquered. We chose our ending, and in doing so, we reminded the galaxy what it means to stand against the dark. She turned toward the chamber's exit, then paused. The Domino Protocol has been broadcast to every corner of human space. Every derelict ship, every abandoned station, every forgotten colony now carries the same gift we gave your armada. Approach human ruins at your own risk, counselors. We may be gone, but our defiance is eternal. As Admiral Sarah Chen walked away, leaving the Galactic Council in stunned silence, none of them noticed the small device she had, placed on the chamber floor, a device that was already beginning to sing with familiar quantum harmonics. One human had stood alone against the galaxy's might, and the stars themselves trembled at what that defiance had unleashed. Outside the chamber, hidden in the spaces between dimensions, the ghost signals of 10,000 human worlds began to stir, carrying their final, spiteful gift to any who dared disturb their rest. Humanity was extinct, but humanity's last laugh would echo through the cosmos for eternity.